I start cooking when my husband leaves work and I give myself 30 minutes on the clock. Tonight we're having a ground beef and garlic rice mixture. It's a recipe I found here on TikTok. Let's see if I can beat the clock. It says to brown the beef and then season. I'm a big believer that you have to season your beef before you cook it or else it will taste like nothing. So we are going to season while this is starting to brown up with paprika, salt, and pepper. The next step is to go ahead and take our beef out of the pan now that it's browned and a little bit caramelized on the edges. And then we're going to add in our aromatics. Because we get our beef here from the farm, very fortunate, I am not adding butter into this recipe like it asks for. And I am actually going to drain a little bit of this extra fat off. We probably have something close to like a 90-10, maybe an 85-15 beef this year. So I do want to take a little bit of that extra grease out anyways. But I don't feel like I'm going to need the extra butter. I can always add it later if I want to. I have my pan turned down to a medium-low. I'm going to add in our onion and garlic. I did chop this up while my meat was thawing out a little bit earlier in the microwave because, of course, I didn't plan ahead. Ooh, this already smells really good. I did actually use garlic that I fresh chopped. Look at me. Saute those for just a minute or two. Next, we are adding in our rice. We're going to let this toast before we add in our liquid. Something I love that the recipe asked us to do. I do not like to rinse my rice just because I don't like to. I don't know. I don't have a good excuse for it. But toasting your rice can be just like rinsing it and will give it that nice texture that you're looking for. So we're going to let this toast for 1 to 2 minutes and then I will be back. Now that our rice is toasted, we're going to add in our beef broth. Are you surprised that I don't have beef broth this week? We have chicken broth, so that's what we're going to use. It'll be okay. I'll add in a little bit of beef bouillon if I feel like I need that flavor. Go ahead and scrape the bottom. Next up is 1 cup of milk or cream. I have cream that needs used. It goes bad in just a couple of days, so we're going to use cream. We are just using what we have in our refrigerator, which of course is heavy cream because it's Christmas time and everything calls for heavy cream. Our next step is to bring this to a light simmer. I have a slight obsession right now with Worcestershire sauce. We're going to add in a little dash because I think it's going to make it over the top good. We are at the gentle boil simmer stage here, so I'm just going to give it one more really good stir. And then I'm going to cover it for 18 to 20 minutes until that rice is nice and tender. And then we've got just a couple of things to do before this will be finished up. This lid is totally not made for this cast iron, but it's going to work. I'm actually feeling really good about this. Anytime that I do rice in a skillet like this, I think it takes like 40 minutes to cook. This one I think might work. I use jasmine rice. It does call for uncooked long grain rice. It smells phenomenal. Definitely add the Worcestershire. I have been opening this up to stir it every couple of minutes and it's thickening up so nicely. It's starting to look like cooked rice. Also a little bit worried about breaking my sauce, so there's that. Looks so good though. We're getting pretty close though with that cooked rice. Maybe like 2 to 3 more minutes, which is good because I only have like 6 more minutes before they're gonna get home. Let's give it a tiny little taste test here. It's really close. Still just a little bit crunchy. Tastes so good though. Wow. Wow, I'm impressed. I was a little skeptical here, but quite impressed. Next step is to put that beef back in. There's my arrival notification. They are home. They'll be in the door in a few minutes. So this is really, really good timing. Mix in this beef. And the last step is to add in 1 cup of shredded cheese. It calls for cheddar, or you can use mozzarella for extra creaminess. I have cheddar. I do not feel like shredding cheese, and I have some mozzarella that is already shredded, so that's what we're gonna use. And I know you're not supposed to use pre-shredded cheese. This is the only stuff that I feel like doesn't have as much of the gritty on it, so it actually melts really good. And I have some left over from our flatbread pizzas that I did last night, so it just makes sense to use it up. Mix in the mozz. Turn the heat off. Every time you add cheese, turn the heat off or else you're going to end up with a big old clump of cheese and it's not going to melt in. Just be sure to keep stirring this so it doesn't seize up. Wow, this looks so good. It's going to be perfect by the time they walk in the door. Also going to add in just a tiny little bit more salt. Your cheese is pretty salty, so you really don't need a ton. of salt, but you can season to your liking. The last thing it calls for is fresh parsley. I don't have any fresh, but I do have some dried, so we're gonna add that now and just stir that in. Maybe pulling into their parking spot. I'm gonna get this plated. Eating in bowls tonight. Our daughter's portion cooling down, and I will plate mine and my husband's once he's in the door and settled in. But hers I always plate first, that way it's a good temperature for her by the time they make it in the door. Give you an update when they walk in, but we made it. You say hi? Just like a couple of seconds to do a bite. It's really good. Really good.